Portugal is not in their best shape. With Cristiano Ronaldo, it's like they're lacking because he's 41 now. He doesn't run. He just stands there. He doesn't. I would say America should have been given terms and conditions before hosting this World Cup. You know, they've taken advantage of it. It's about time Africans should know where our worth. We should know what we stand for. We could have said we're boycotting the World Cup. Right? It's unfortunate that South Africa is giving people no choice than to not support them. You understand what I'm saying? Because South Africa is whatever xenophobia or xenophobic attacks they're doing, they're bringing it to the level where you don't have any choice than not to support them.
They're talking about immigration in this World Cup. Are you aware that Congolese supporters were not allowed to go to America from Congo?
That's nonsense.
Because of Ebola. You think there's double standards there? From Cape Town to Quebec, from Paris to Panama, from Accra to Atlanta, from Dakota to Doha, all over the world, people are living the rhythm of football or king of sports. Good afternoon. Welcome to Inside Out. Today, I'm joined by Sariki. Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon. Thanks for having me. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Sariki.
Yeah.
How are you doing yourself?
I'm good, not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, what are we here for today?
We're here to talk about FIFA World Cup 2006. As you know, the whole world is in the FIFA.
Definitely, everybody's buzzing, man. It's
as you know, today's the World Cup now is not about just the football. It's about the culture. It's about the resilience. It's about what's happening in the whole world, from the economy, all that.
Sure.
And what do you think? What are your expectations about African teams on this World Cup?
First and foremost, thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm really happy to see the World Cup. This year's World Cup, they've had a lot of African teams. I think we have about 10 teams. Usually we have less. But even the fact that we've got more slots now at the World Cup, this is amazing to me, and that's a perfect platform for our talents and the whole continent to kind of showcase what they've got.
Well, as to results and the fixtures, up to now, African teams have played 10 games, 2 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses, 7 goals scored, and 16 goals conceded. Let's begin first with results. How do you assess the performance of African teams in this World Cup so far?
Brilliant, amazing. Like we've got some crazy, top level of football being displayed. And I think with regards to the performance, this has made the world, realize that Africa is on another level now. You understand what I'm saying? So it's brilliant.
So talking about level, you think African teams now have a necessary tactical side of the great teams in the world, you think?
Yes, I 100% think so, because I think most of the players playing at the World Cup, they already play in Europe and on international stages. So they already have the experience and the exposure. You understand? So top.
Well, I know from Ghana, and you go Ghana team.
And we won a game, bro. Out of those 2 that you mentioned, Ghana is one of them. So
So which nation do you think in Africa is the best up to now?
I'm Ghanaian, but I'm gonna be honest. I think Cote d'Ivoire is top. I would say Cape Verde. Cape Verde, they put up an outstanding performance, and it's lovely. So I would say the African countries that I'm tipping is 3 actually. Morocco, banging.
Morocco won last night.
Top. Morocco, how do you call it? Cote d'Ivoire.
Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah, Ivory Coast, they're up there, and Cape Verde so far.
Yeah. So Congo drew against Portugal last week, and we saw, people from Congo say we won 1-1, because for them it was a dream to beat a big team as Portugal with Ronaldo. So they say we won 1-1, but it was a draw. So did you watch that game?
I did watch the game. I would say kudos to Congo. They really did well. I think Portugal is not in their best shape. With Cristiano Ronaldo, it's like they're lacking because he's 41 now. He doesn't run. He just stands there. He doesn't. So playing with a team with Cristiano Ronaldo is technically playing 10 against 11. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
But Congo really did well. Especially, I think their goal came right at the dying minute of the first half, and that was beautiful. I think they have a lovely team, but they need to utilize a lot of their strength.
Yes.
You know, like they don't have to be scared. You understand what I'm saying? They have to play with you know,
with the heart.
with the heart and strength.
But that's one thing. A lot of people are criticizing Ronaldo. He's 41 and he can't do as well as he did before. Do you think it's not Congo team that was good? Ronaldo may be still good, but he just faced a very good team.
I don't think so. I think if you know Ronaldo and you follow his pattern of playing and how he used to play, you see a severe dip in his performance. He doesn't run anymore. He's only standing in the striker position, waiting for ball, and everybody's trying to feed him. And you need to understand he's a billionaire. I don't think he needs to be there. You know, he's past being a footballer. These guys are earning thousands. He's a billionaire. So everybody's trying to feed him, right? So he can score for glory. You understand? So I'm really thinking their next game should be without him, or he should just play about 20 minutes and get off, and someone, you know, just give the young lads a great chance.
He said Morocco is one of the best teams, right? Last World Cup, Morocco reached the semi-finals.
Top, yeah.
And Morocco it was crowned last year. World champion.
African champion. Under 20 as well, yeah.
So you think Morocco, well, we might have, do you think, if when you look at what's happening, we can have African team in the final this time?
Definitely, I think so. And I tip Morocco to be there. I've been to Morocco and I know how it is. If you go to Morocco, you understand football is like it's a religion, you know. There's a football field in every corner in Morocco, right? And you can see this is, you know, reflecting in the games, you know, how they move, their passes, their finishes, everything is top class. You understand? I see that. Easily they'll be able to beat any team.
Are you aware of Morocco is going to be the hosts of World Cup, next World Cup?
2030 is going to be Morocco, Spain, Portugal, like the second time, you know, the World Cup coming to the continent, because the first one was in South Africa, and it was, you could see Ghana went to the quarterfinals, and Morocco, as I told you, top class, you know, hosting. I think they can do it. Look at the AFCON. They hosted it beautifully, and you know, no incident, nothing crazy happened, and the World Cup will be easy for them. And you should know that Morocco is already a top class destination anyway. Everybody goes to Morocco. That's the #1 holiday destination for almost everybody in the world. In the West, everybody knows Morocco. You understand? So I would say, you know, football is really coming back to Africa. If I'll be honest. Yeah.
So there we have Europe and Africa hosting the World Cup.
Yeah.
And we know there's lots of problems in immigration, like crossing the borders, crossing the sea, people are dying. You think it would be easy for Africans who would like to go to watch the game in the European countries?
Yeah.
You think it would be difficult? I know the Europeans will come to our continent without a problem, but would they let Africans easily?
You know, unfortunately,
this is about football.
Unfortunately, where we find ourselves as Africans, it's a bit dicey. You know, immigration issues is always been something that has always been on the plate, right? But the people who qualify or who are eligible to get into these countries will definitely go. Yeah. And you need to understand, Europe is a Schengen zone. So moving from Spain to Portugal, it shouldn't be like a big issue. Should be able to, how do you call it, when you have the visa to get into any of those countries. And you need to know that Portugal and Spain and Morocco, they're a bit closer. Yeah. They're all around the North Africa, not far, you know. Yeah. Because technically, if you're in the plane going to
the Mediterranean,
how do you call it, Portugal. You will know you're actually halfway in Morocco, because when you look at the weather from the skies, you know, it's really the humidity. You know. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that it shouldn't be a big deal, obviously, for the people in Europe to come to Morocco. Same way it shouldn't be like with the fans, the real fans, though. You know, the real fans who are eligible, because we need to understand immigration. In as much as we're speaking about immigration, is also important. If you look at what's happening in America,
exactly. A lot of America people, they've made it quite hard. I would say
America should have been given terms and conditions before hosting this World Cup. You know, they've taken advantage of this.
Would FIFA give
America, that's what I'm saying. Yes, because I don't know why FIFA would make a decision. Obviously, they voted and America won. But if you come and bid, you have to follow rules and terms and conditions. This is a game that brings a lot of people into the country. Are you ready for this? You understand what I'm saying? If you check all these things, then you'll be able to host it. However, you can't just host it and say you're not allowing a referee, an African referee, a top referee, to come into your country.
Yes,
that's unacceptable.
Because that was very hard to see one of the best African ref being kicked off America.
Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to. So now, you know, you have to think about the fact that when a black referee or an African referee from Somalia is at the toppest level, you know, refereeing, you know, World Cup. All these kids from Africa, deprived kids, they know one day I can be this. I'm gonna be like this man.
Exactly.
You know. Now you've taken this opportunity away from millions of kids to see this in their lifetime because of immigration.
They're talking about immigration in this World Cup. Are you aware that Congolese supporters were not allowed to go to America from Congo?
That's nonsense.
Because of Ebola.
This is nonsense. Exactly what I'm saying.
Even the players, before they go to play in America, they had to do 21 days quarantine in Belgium. And up to now, we see lots of supporters from Congo in Belgium waiting to go to America. I don't know if you know this guy called Lumumba. He had his hand like this.
Okay,
the World Cup.
the fan.
Yeah, the guy is stuck in Belgium, not in Paris right now, because they say he has to do 28 days in Paris of quarantine before he goes to the World Cup. And this guy is one of the people who are really boosting, or who are one of the greatest supporters, and the whole world was looking to see him. But all of them, about 20 of them, are not allowed to go to America because of Ebola. But we saw government people that went to America. They were there in the stadium watching Congo playing Portugal. You think there's double standards there?
Definitely, this is not acceptable.
Powerful.
Like, I would say that it's about time Africans should know where our worth. We should know what we stand for. We could have said we're boycotting the World Cup, right? I know this is not something I'm promoting. However, you know, there's another school of thought that would think about this, right? And I think it makes sense to boycott it, because at the end of the day, what do we have in there? All right, it's games. Everybody needs to be free. If you think you can't host people, just don't host it. Let's take it somewhere neutral where they're acceptable. You know, they accept people. It was hosted in Qatar, man. People think Qatarians should behave in a certain way, but the whole world went there. It was beautiful. Everybody came home happy, right? There was no issues. Nobody stayed. Nobody remained there. One thing, everybody is happy. You understand? So at the end of the day, I would say, as an African, I know my worth. We should know our worth.
But
you know,
Africans, you think they can boycott World Cup?
Yeah, we can. It's easy to do.
FIFA would not punish them for doing that.
No, it's not about punishment. You don't. If you want to boycott something, obviously you can't just boycott because you just want to boycott. You need to boycott for important reasons, reasons that will favor you. So if that collective decision is made, that we're not going here because we think we have better things to do back home, or these things are not going to favor us, then we'll be able to boycott it.
So Congolese not allowed to go to the World Cup because of Ebola. And do you really think the whole Africa will be beyond Congo?
It depends.
Up to the level of boycotting, with all the billions of dollars involved.
Yes, but you have to understand, charity begins at home.
Right.
Before somebody comes to support you, you would have to sort things out at home. you ask yourself, do we have are all the African nations, one? Do we move as one? Do we think as one? Is our African Union, how do you call it, working? Is it operating? Do we have opportunity? Do we stand together? If we don't stand together, that's when you see some people saying, listen, this is not my issue. This is your issue. You understand what I'm trying to say? So at the end of the day, we have to sort these things out. Back home, we have to break all the boundaries, mentally we need to break all the boundaries of Congolese. Even in Congo, if now there's a war or a fight going on between half of Congo, then the Congo itself is not one. So it's going to be very hard. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it has to be a collective decision. So we have to be together back home in Africa. Make sure that we support each other. Okay, we show that love to each other. The African Union needs to be stronger.
Right. Talking about love, Africa being how we unify Africa. The first South African game was against Mexico. And according to some observers, most African people were supporting Mexico instead of South Africa. And this is due to, according to them, due to xenophobia going in South Africa. As people are aware, a lot of Africans are being kicked out of South Africa. They say Africans are taking the jobs, that's why they say, okay, we're not going to support you. Do you really think that unity is it for now?
I would say it's unfortunate that South Africa is giving people no choice than to not support them. You understand what I'm saying? Because South Africa is whatever xenophobia or xenophobic attacks they're doing, they're bringing it to the level where you don't have any choice than not to support them. You understand what I'm saying? So they are causing this on themselves, if you get what I'm trying to say. Because if you know, in Africa, one of the peaceful countries is Ghana. Yeah. For Ghanaians to hate you, and that means you have a big problem. Ghanaians, we have no hate in us. You can ask anybody. Ghanaians they're just quiet people to the extent that they do this, So I think South Africans need to really sit back and think about what exactly their priorities are and the way they have to take it, instead of just thinking that another man in your country is making you less of a person.
So don't you think that we're mixing politics and sports?
Yeah, but at the end, that's what I'm saying. They're doing it to the extent that we don't have any choice than to hate anything they do. Yeah, because in the beginning, they were doing this years ago.
Yeah,
but we still made sure that we did not mix politics with football. Yeah. But now it has gotten to the point where no everything has to be mixed, music, everything, anything South African
and reaction.
Bro, it has gotten to a point where if South Africans are not careful, in the next 5 years, if this thing doesn't die down, they will really be isolated. It doesn't matter what they have. Money will not make you happy, bro. All right? There's money in their country. The thing is, it starts with yourself. Right? Yeah. You have to be aware. You have to know what you want, right? If they're not careful in the next 5 years, it's going to be worse to the extent that the whole world is going to shut on them. And that's what they don't want to be. And that's where they don't want to be. You understand? So I don't know the meaning of xenophobia, because if you go to Africa, we move freely everywhere, bro.
Yeah, xenophobia is the hate of foreign people.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense.
Well, last week we had a show here on xenophobia. I will ask our followers to go and watch our last week's show. They will learn a lot about xenophobia going to South Africa, and we spoke a lot about that xenophobia. Do you think African solidarity, our continent solidarity in sports, should be politicized? I'm not coming back to that question.
So basically, yeah.
And this is about the solidarity of all African, except like I saw last time, all Africa supported Congo, right? Ivory Coast, they all supported it. When in South Africa, then we brought xenophobia because we had no choice. And we say the solidarity is very important in the sport for the continents, for getting together. And don't you think that's a bit confused? Some confusion as the kids, if they see this, and they say, "Oh, you guys are talking about solidarity. You're talking about being together." But now we see different kind of picture
Yeah, I would say South Africans have the examples of unity and solidarity in football. They hosted the World Cup in 2010. They saw how everybody rallied behind them. The Vuvuzela was all over the world.
Yeah.
We supported them. We
was it?
support
Yeah.
2010. Everybody, the whole world, even people who are not Africans, the whole continent. Actually, let's talk about Africa. The whole continent was supporting South Africa.
Yeah.
So so this is why they've realized that there's something going on now.
Right.
Because it used to be happy days. We support you. We are one and everything. You understand? So then again, I'm coming back to what I said earlier. South Africa, they're not giving anybody a choice not to hate them, because what they're doing is barbaric. You need to understand. For you to go to march the streets with bow and arrows, kicking people, want to kill them. All right, these things were done in the animal farm. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is not. We're in 2026, right? The world. We have to be one. We have to think about technology. We have to think about greater things and move on. We're not going back. So South Africa is really retrogressing. If you understand what I'm saying?
As I mentioned, youth looking at role models. Where do you see our football go from now on? That we say, 2022, we reached the semi-finals. Our target this year is the finals. Why not win the World Cup? So where do you see because most of our youth, most of our players, if not 90% of our players, do play in Europe. Only maybe 10% are playing back home. So where do you see African football years to come?
African football is obviously top, because it's just going up, because we have the more immigrants we have, in the diaspora, the more
So we are not. It's not that we are making efforts to make other countries' football grow while we're forgetting our own.
Yeah, so this is what so another point that I've got, which is very important, is our government needs to, build the infrastructure back home. The football, the kids are talented. Let's groom them from infancy, from childhood. Let's put them into academies. Let's put them into sports facilities in schools. Let's make sure sports is really promoted out there. You understand? These things, go a long way to form quality. If you understand what I'm saying, then that would be like, so a country like Morocco, as I said, I've been there. There's football fields in every corner of Morocco. You go to Marrakesh, you go every corner.
So you have experience of Morocco and Ghana.
Yep.
So if you compare, as football-wise,
no, Morocco is top.
Why?
Morocco, you could see. So, Morocco is deliberate. Whatever they're doing it with intentions.
Right.
We want this to happen. In Ghana, they're starting. To be fair, in Ghana, it has even gone down. It used to, when I was in school in Ghana, it used to be top.
So if Morocco is where it is today, it's not by chance.
No, it's hard work.
It's a preparation, hard work.
1000% hard work.
Putting finance, everything in it. That's why they are.
Yes.
So other African countries need to follow that example.
They need to do that. Instead of just going back to bring the diasporans to play for us. And sometimes, the diasporans, they have a choice to play for you or not, and most of the time they'll just play for the European countries or America just to get by. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
Because I'll say, for example, Congolese football, which is almost dead because FIFA took all the license. It's cancelled most licenses for stadiums, in stadium to
and why was that?
When that was about a couple of years ago.
What was the reason for that?
The reason they are not up to the standard that FIFA wanted.
Yeah. So
and that we see last week Congolese celebrating the draw, they call it victory, 1-1 against Portugal.
Yeah.
Every single player was playing there are players who play here in Europe. Wow. Football is dying back in the Congo.
Yeah.
So much money is being poured in this football, but where is it going? We don't know.
Yeah.
And this is not just in Congo, but the whole continent is facing that situation. So if Morocco can do that, Algeria may be. Why not sub-Saharan African? Why they cannot do that?
Yeah, so it comes down to the leadership, right? The leadership and how we we take out corruption.
Yes.
You know, from the football or our leaders, they're so corrupt because every World Cup, every country will be given at least $12 million. And these $12 million, they don't have to just spend it. I think they should have like a fund, all right? Like a football fund, a national football fund where they put that money in, you know, and it has to go direct into the infrastructure of football. Instead of the politicians taking the money and just living lavish and forget about the people, you understand? So I would say that's the biggest problem we have, you know, in Africa. You know, it's about, if you go to Africa, there's a lot of people who have potentials of being great, and all they need is the exposure or just a little bit of, you know, help, and nobody's ready to do that. And it's like, for some reason, what's sad is the rich people back home, they're just happy to see other people poor, and they just see them, they don't have any guilt, you know. So when there's a rich person in America or in the West, out of their money, they owe society. All right? Back home in Africa, these things are not clear. People don't know. If somebody's a billionaire back in Africa, he doesn't owe you nothing.
Exactly.
But you know, the laws have to be changed. You need to,
because you made these billions
here, and you live here. You have a responsibility to pay back. You have to pay back. Not only the tax to the government, you have to build things. The government need to tell you, like Elon Musk and all these guys, Amazon, these guys. We live in the UK. The UK government tells them you need to invest this money here. They tell them you have to. You understand what I'm saying? So everybody can have a share of whatever you're making. These are the mindset that we need to have.
Wow.
You know,
so you've lived in Africa.
Yeah.
You've lived.
I was born in Africa.
You were born in Africa. You lived in Africa, and you live here now. If you look, what challenges you think young people in Africa are facing as to football?
Opportunities. There's no opportunities. There's the biggest challenge that I think they're facing is the opportunities, and there are no infrastructures around to help them. Because when I was in Ghana, when I was young, we used to play on the field, barefoot. The whole area has no field, like no professional field. We just go and we just look for a big space somewhere and we play, or just a little corner and we play, right? That's talent. I've seen a lot of people who are talented when we're young, and today I see them, I'm like, oh shit, this guy would have been the next Messi. But there's no opportunities.
Right. But if, you know, all these African footballers playing at their own millionaire, they have a lot of money. If you have to send one message to them as to what's happening, like you say, youth in Africa, they have no opportunities, they need infrastructures and all that. If you have to send one message to all this professional football, enjoying football in Europe, in America, everywhere, making millions, what would be the message?
What I'll tell them is, I will not say a lot, because I think a lot of them are doing their best. And you need to understand, when someone works hard for their money, right, especially in football, right, I've done a little research. They're not really rich as you see. Right. You know, especially if you look at the statistics, a lot of most footballers who retire, they just get back to the normal life. They are no more rich.
It's not because of bad investments. No, because they're all millionaire while they're playing.
You know, not necessarily.
Right.
The agencies make the money.
Right.
The teams make the money. You might make something.
But if you earn under £50,000 a week for 10 years,
I get it, but I'm trying to be realistic here. Don't think these monies these guys make, okay, it's some money. They have families out there, you understand? They have to build houses, they have to feed the family and stuff like that. So I'll put the whole responsibility on the government.
On the government.
All right? The government should do a lot, because at the end of the day, these footballers, they became millionaires, obviously, because of their hard work, right? It comes with a whole lot of responsibilities, right? They'll be able to change few people, because I see some of the footballers you see today up there in the teams playing, they were handpicked by top superstars who are retired now. I know there's a player in Ghana called Caleb Irenchi. He's a very young, he's 20, he's coming up. He was brought up by Michael Essien. Okay. He was discovered by Michael Essien, right? These are things that these guys are doing and changing these kids' lives. You understand what I'm saying?
But, well, I can take some examples, you know, some footballers. Someone like Sadio Mane, who's investing a lot in his village. N'Golo Kante. They make the building schools, hospitals. They're trying to give back as much as possible.
Yes, I really appreciate that. Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say, but I think they can only do. There's an N'Golo Kante in N'Golo Kante will go to Senegal and do that.
Mali, yeah. Sadio Mane in Senegal.
Mali, right? Sadio Mane, Senegal. Yeah. Look at the population of Senegal, right?
But you have to start somewhere.
Exactly, which is very good.
Yeah.
What's the government doing? Okay, we're enjoying the UK and the West because of the government.
So you think these footballers need to address the government first?
That's it.
Because they are representing
the person you're voting for.
The influencers.
We vote for these governments. Why are they there? Right? There's not. Listen, any problem that you face has to be the government first. Whatever anybody brings in is a contribution. It's nice. You understand? But for us to solve the issues, for instance, if you go to Ghana, even if the footballers have schools in every in their towns, it wouldn't be in every town. You understand what I'm saying? And even with that, there's going to be competition getting into that school. How about the government fixing the school issue? Right? How about the government keeping up fields, football fields for?
So do you not think if these footballers doing the small they can, and the government will feel ashamed? So let's.
They don't. The government doesn't. I don't think the government should feel ashamed. It's their responsibility.
Right.
I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know you're trying to say.
You're put in there.
It's been
your job
for the people.
Your job as a government
not
is
to fill
to make
your
sure. Yes. The money's not for you.
Not for you.
It's for the people.
Yeah. And you have to serve the people.
Right? Yeah. So if these people you don't serve, some of them, one of them struggles to become a billionaire, why are you going to put pressure on them whilst the government is there? This is what I'm thinking about. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we shouldn't run anything past the government. It is the government.
Okay.
That keeps everything together. Yeah.
Well, as we're approaching the end, we'll have one question, one answer. Right. Let's go back to the World Cup. Right? For you, who will be the best African player? I know it's too early, but you can guess for now.
Best African player?
Yeah. Who will be? You can guess.
African player?
In this World Cup.
Hakimi?
I'll
give it to
Hakimi. I was going to give it to Hakimi as well.
Yeah, I'll give it to
But let's see how it goes, okay?
Yeah.
And the most exciting match so far?
Cape Verde and Spain.
And Spain, okay. Future African superstar in this World Cup?
Caleb Yurenchi.
Yeah.
Learn to speak his name, Caleb Yurenchi.
With the 18-year-old from Morocco?
He's 20 from Ghana.
From Ghana?
He's going to be the top, trust me.
Because I've seen that 18-year-old boy from Ghana, from Morocco. He's
he's also good.
He's really good, isn't he?
But Caleb Yurenchi, he's...
Okay, Caleb Yurenchi.
Yes, he's top.
Okay. And which African nation will go furthest, do you think?
Morocco. No, it's actually Morocco. I'm looking at Côte d'Ivoire.
Côte d'Ivoire. So one answer?
Oh, Morocco.
Okay. Morocco will go furthest, like the last World Cup. Morocco was at the semi-finals. We really hope Morocco get to the finals this time. So, football reminds us that African's greatest strength, that always has been built, as we know. Football is about the culture, is about the atmosphere, is about how the youth are coming, how the young people are watching the role model. So we're going to keep football as much fun as possible. What we saw in the game Mexico against South Africa should teach someone that xenophobia is not the best way to go in Africa. We need Africa to unify. We need to be as one in Africa. The continent must show we are one African people. Xenophobia has no place in this continent. As I said, the example was what we saw in football. We don't need that. So stop xenophobia. As xenophobia has affected the football, this is the consequence. Till next time, we see you. Thank you. Bye-bye.